That's a record.
Hello and welcome to the Book to Write podcast, the second episode of the spoken word adventure. And in sticking with the poetical, literary heritage of this channel, this podcast, I would like to begin by reading a poem to you by the great Sylvia Plath from her collection of poems, The Colossus. And this is a poem entitled The Bull of Bendelaw. The black bull bellowed before the sea till that day orderly hove up against Bendelaw. The queen in the mulberry arbour stared, stiff as a queen on a playing card. The king fingered his beard. A blue sea, 4 horny bull feet, a bull-snouted sea that wouldn't stay put, bucked at the garden gate, along box-lined walks in the florid sun, towards the rowdy bellow and back again. The lords and ladies ran. The great bronze gate began to crack. The sea broke in at every crack, pell-mell, blue-black. The bull surged up, the bull surged down, not to be stayed by a daisy chain, nor by any learned man. Oh, the king's tidy acre is under the sea, and the royal rose is in the bull's belly, and the bull on the king's highway.
That's a record.
I hope you enjoyed that beautiful Sylvia Plath poem, and I hope you're enjoying those little musical interludes, courtesy of Beastie Boys and the intro from their song Root Down from the album Ill Communication. And I'm sorry for my voice. I know it's all over the place in this episode, and that's because I am sick. I thought I was recovering today. Last night I thought I was dying, but I seem to have almost eliminated it, more or less. Although I do still keep coughing, I do still keep losing my voice, I do still have to keep running to grab tissues to blow my nose. And yes, you're welcome. Those graphical, gruesome images come free with the podcast. And you know, no podcast, no Book to Write podcast episode would be complete without me just ranting about illogical things, in my opinion, that people do. And one of those things, for example, is taking the elevator when there's a staircase right next to the elevator. And even for someone like me who lives on the top floor, the 5th floor, it's so easy to go down using the stairs. But everybody uses the elevator. Sometimes we even stop on the 2nd floor so that someone can get into the lift and go down 1 floor and spare themselves the stairs. It takes less time. It would take less time for them to go down the stairs than to get in the elevator. And then, of course, people who live on the 5th floor with their dogs and they have to walk up and down all day long to take their dogs out to go to the toilet. Come on, man. Use the stairs. And don't sit in your car with the engine running. Go to your car, get in it, start it, drive it off. Park it, get out, and go to where you're going. Why sit in your car with the engine running? Or is it just because you don't want to go inside and face your family?
That's a record.
I like this as a form of punctuation in the episode. I don't know, let me know what you think. As always, you can email me at booktowrite@icloud.com or even booktowrite@outlook.com. I think. I need to check that, but the iCloud one for sure. And something that's really been on my mind a lot lately is the fact that in 2026, with all of this advanced digital technology, with AI being mentioned 457,000 times per sentence in every meeting and webinar and seminar that exists around the world today, we still work this inverted commas 9 to 5 workday and the 40-hour work week, which in reality is more like 6 to 8, and it's more like a 50 to 55 to 60-hour work week that many people work. And you see every now and again, you'll see some progressive articles saying, well, actually we should switch our outputs to a value-based output and productivity rather than time. Pay people for their productivity and not just for showing up. And yet things just seem to go back. And I remember during the pandemic thinking, wow, this is finally a great opportunity. We finally have been told as a human race that we need to slow down, calm down, spend time with our family, take care of our health, and think about things other than just commuting to an office, which of course pollutes the environment and so on, and doesn't do as much good for our mental health either. But now we've just completely regressed and gone even beyond where we were before. I think a lot of it is probably due to Elon Musk and his fanaticism in 2024 with his chainsaw on stage saying, I'm firing everybody and get back into the office and send me an email by the end of the week and give me 5 reasons why that you shouldn't be fired and 5 things that you do every day and whatever it was. But total nonsense like that just causes this spread through society, this fear and panic and anxiety. And well, you can see what's happening today with these huge companies like Microsoft and Amazon and Meta, and the number of people that they are letting go. But anyway, before I start to rant too much about convention and tradition and people who are unable to pull themselves out of some dinosauric, prehistoric routine and regimen, let me talk about another beautiful book that I read in recent weeks. And this was a book that I picked up in one of the local bookstores in Madrid when I was visiting in March. And the book is called Strange Weather in Tokyo, a novel. And it's by the author Hiromi Kawakami and translated from Japanese into English by Alison Markin Powell. And Strange Weather in Tokyo, I expected it to be something seriously dark and sinister and sad, and I was worried a little bit about that, but I was intrigued enough to buy it anyway. And in fact, what it turned out to be was a really beautiful tale of ordinary life, of life in Tokyo, of this young woman who lives alone, is single. She goes around having dinner in certain bars and drinking sake and having beer and whatever else. And she bumps into this ex-teacher of hers. And anyway, it's up and down, in and out, and it's a romantic nature city novel that really just talks about the ordinary everyday aspects of life and the innocence of just trying to find some meaning in daily life when you're living alone, when you are single, and when you're working a lot and you go out and try to connect with other people and you have a simple meal and you are in a simple place and you're just living frugally and humbly and trying to be kind to people and smile at people. And I really related to this because I suppose that's what as I enter into my severely latter mature years, I feel more that this is what I do. I live alone, I'm single, I don't have children, I don't have a partner, and I tend to walk as much as I can to my local little bars and restaurants, and I have a simple snack or a little dish with a local beer or with some sake or whatever it may be. Chat to the staff, chat to the people around me, and find out what's going on in their lives, and just give them some general companionship, and they give me some general companionship, and it's a really beautiful thing. And I think if you have some time, if you're going on holiday, or if you're feeling like you need something to read or listen to on the weekend, go out and get Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami.
That's a record.
At the end of 2024, throughout 2024, I was seeing this rise in DEI initiatives and pride celebrations and so on and so forth. And I felt really happy and at peace and comfortable that we were heading in this progressive direction, and society was just becoming generally more tolerant and loving, and everyone was embracing this need for cultural diversity. And then the end of 2024 came and the beginning of 2025 came, and all of a sudden it all started being attacked and removed and disappearing and vanishing, and adding to this piling list of items attacking my mental health. And so I would like to read the lyrics of a song to you. And the song is called Regaining Unconsciousness, from 2003 by a band called NoFX from their War on Errorism album. First, they put away the dealers, keep our kids safe and off the streets. Then they put away the prostitutes, keep married men cloistered at home. Then they shoot away the bums, then they beat and bash the queers, turned away asylum seekers, fed us suspicions and fears. We didn't raise our voice, we didn't make a fuss. It's funny, there was no one left to notice when they came for us. Looks like witches are in season, so you better fly your flag and be aware of anyone who might fit the description. Diversity is now our biggest fear. Now our conversations are tapped and our differences exposed. You're supposed to love your neighbour with our minds and curtains closed. We used to worry about Big Brother, now we've got a Big Father and an even bigger mother. And you still believe that aristocracy gives a fuck about you. They put the mock in democracy, and you swallowed every hook. The sad truth is, you would rather follow the school into the net, 'cause swimming alone at sea is not the kind of freedom you actually want. So go back to your crib and suck on a tit. Bask in the warmth of your diaper. You're sitting in shit and piss while sucking on a giant pacifier. A country of adult infants, a legion of mental midgets. A country of adult infants, a country of adult infants, all regaining their unconsciousness.
That's a record.
It's like comedy night at Billy Bob's. No one cares until it impacts them. You can pack a bunch of people into the back of a train and ride them off into an unknown place. You can lock them in Alligator Alcatraz. No one cares. But the petrol price, the gas price goes up. Everybody cares. The stock market drops. Everybody cares. Your civil rights are taken away. Nobody cares. But there is a long-term solution. If you go and do your research into the most prosperous, secure, happy countries in the world, you will find there's a direct correlation. Those countries are the ones with the highest level of education and the lowest level of religion. And they also have some of the highest levels of support, of social support. And many sociologists believe that direct correlation is inevitable, because when you have a social support network, you have less of a need for community support that comes from religion, or of course the mental support that, or spiritual, whatever you want to call it, support that comes from religion. And so one of the positive things of religion is that it does bring people together as a community, and that community supports each other. And it also gives people a belief that they are being taken care of or looked after, or whatever it is, from beyond. But in more advanced countries, there actually is a true social security welfare network that takes care of you, and therefore that need is gradually, over time, being removed. The need for this religious hope and the religious community. So, if we can increase education for more people, including rural areas, the need for religion will start to disappear. And with that, society tends to become more progressive and more tolerant and more caring for each other. And they try to implement systems that benefit all people. And it's not some socialist thing where everyone lives in rags and everyone is poor. Countries that have socialist systems also have millionaires and billionaires. However, many of the billionaires who live in a socialistic society are quite willing to give away a good portion of their money to help support other people. They don't sit back and think, well, other people are lazy, they don't have a job, I don't care about them. I'm just want to be... If you're a billionaire, you have money to give away, so help people. And that's what progressive societies do. They help each other, and they are less selfish in deciding what is best for everyone and not just themselves.
That's a record.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know I overused it. Hopefully Beastie Boys don't come after me. Hopefully Def Jam Records don't come after me. But thank you once again for listening to my endless drivel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a good person, being kind, being generous, being friendly, and not just being an aggressive, selfish individual.